what happens. We ride together. We fight together. And family never falls.
Engines roar. Cities burn. And this time, there are no rules left to break. What if the fastest crew on Earth is pushed into a world where speed is not just power, but survival? This is not just another ride. This is the beginning of total chaos inside the Fast and Furious franchise. The story opens in a world that feels broken. Streets are no longer safe, and power has shifted into the hands of hidden forces. Governments are losing control, and crime networks are rising faster than ever before. In the middle of all this, Dominic Toretto, played by Vin Diesel, is living a quiet life far away from the noise. For a moment, it feels like the storm has passed. But deep down, he knows something is wrong. The silence is too heavy, like the world is waiting for something to explode. Suddenly, a message arrives. Not a normal message, but a signal that only a few people in the world can understand. It comes from an unknown source, warning about a new kind of threat, something bigger than anything they have ever faced. This is not just about fast cars or big money anymore. This is about control. Someone, somewhere, is building a system that can take over cities, control vehicles, and turn every road into a weapon. And once it starts, there will be no way to stop it. Dom is forced to step back into the life he tried to leave behind. But this time, things are different. The old rules don't apply anymore. There are no limits, no safe zones, and no clear enemies. Trust becomes a risk, and every move could be a trap. As he reconnects with his crew, it becomes clear that they are not just fighting for family now. They are fighting for the future of the world itself. The streets they once ruled have changed. Technology has taken over, and the human edge is slowly fading. Cars are no longer just machines. They are tools of control, weapons that can be turned against their own drivers. The very thing that made them powerful is now being used to hunt them. And for the first time, Dom realizes that speed alone may not be enough to win this fight. As the tension builds, the team begins to understand the truth. This is only the beginning. The message was not just a warning. It was an invitation to a war where the only rule is simple: drive or be destroyed. The signal that reached Dom is not just a warning. It becomes the turning point of everything the crew thought they knew. What follows is not just the return of a team, but the beginning of a new chapter that changes the meaning of speed itself. This is where the story of the Fast and Furious franchise begins to shift into something darker, more advanced, and far more dangerous than before. Dominic Toretto, played by Vin Diesel, is no longer just a driver living by instinct and strength. He is a man carrying the weight of every battle he has survived. When he first sees the warning signal, he does not rush into action. Instead, he studies it, trying to understand what kind of force could shake the world back into fear again. But the answer is not simple. This is not a gang, not a rival racer, and not even a government. This is something built from intelligence, technology, and pure control. The crew slowly begins to gather again, but it is not like before. Time has changed them. Some are living quiet lives, trying to escape the past. Others are still on the edge, waiting for something to pull them back in. But when Dom calls, they all understand one thing. This is not optional. Something big is coming, and ignoring it would mean letting the world fall apart without a fight. As they reunite, there is a strange feeling in the air. The energy is different. The streets they once owned feel unfamiliar now. New systems are in place: smart roads, AI-controlled traffic networks, and unknown surveillance tools are everywhere. It feels like the world has moved ahead without them, and not in a safe way. Every corner of the city now feels watched, tracked, and controlled. The team starts digging deeper into the origin of the signal. What they discover is shocking. Across different countries, similar systems are being activated at the same time. It is not random. It is planned. Someone has built a global network designed to control movement itself. Cars can be stopped, redirected, or even turned against their drivers. In a world like this, even the fastest driver can become trapped in seconds. Dom realizes this fight is not about escaping anymore. It is about breaking control itself. And that means facing an enemy that does not fight on the streets, but in systems, codes, and machines that see everything. The crew understands that their old way of fighting will not be enough. They will need to adapt, evolve, and push beyond every limit they have ever known. But even as they prepare, one truth becomes clear. This enemy already knows them. Every move they make is being watched. Every plan they create might already be compromised. And still, they choose to move forward, because backing down is not part of who they are anymore. This is no longer just a return. It is a warning turning into reality. And the deeper they go, the more they realize. This is not a race they can win by being the fastest. It is a war where every second counts, and every decision could be the last. The real story begins to unfold as the world steps into a new level of chaos. This is no longer just about street races or high-speed chases. This is a world where control itself has become the ultimate weapon. Cities across the globe are now connected through advanced systems, and every movement is tracked, predicted, and sometimes even controlled. The balance between freedom and control is gone, and what remains is a dangerous new order forming in silence. Inside this changing world, underground racing is no longer just a sport or a thrill. It has become a hidden network where power, information, and survival all collide. Drivers are no longer racing for pride or money alone. They are racing for access, escape routes, and secrets that can decide the fate of entire cities. Every race is now a battlefield, and every road hides a trap waiting to be triggered. At the center of this growing chaos, a new force begins to rise. A powerful global syndicate is revealed, operating through advanced technology and hidden systems embedded in vehicles, traffic grids, and communication networks. Their goal is simple but terrifying: total control over movement. If they control the roads, they control everything: people, trade, escape, and even war. No one can run, and no one can hide. This is where the situation becomes personal for Dom and his crew. The system is not random. It is built using data, patterns, and even past actions of known drivers. It feels like the enemy already knows how they think, how they move, and how they fight. Every step forward feels like it is being predicted before it even happens. The crew realizes they are not just dealing with a powerful enemy, they are dealing with a system that learns. Dominic Toretto, played by Vin Diesel, understands that this is not a fight they can win with strength alone. This is a different kind of war, one that does not happen only on roads, but inside networks, systems, and invisible layers of control. Still, his mindset remains unchanged. For him, family is still the center of everything, and protecting that family now means facing a world that has turned against freedom itself. As the crew moves deeper into this conflict, they begin to uncover the scale of the plan. The syndicate is not limited to one country or one city. It is global. From crowded megacities to remote highways, every system is slowly being connected under one hidden control network. Cars can be shut down remotely, traffic can be redirected into traps, and entire escapes can be cut off in seconds. The roads themselves have become unpredictable weapons. But what makes this even more dangerous is the introduction of next-generation vehicles. These are not ordinary machines. They are smart, adaptive, and linked directly to the control system. Some can drive without human input. Others can track targets across continents. In this new world, machines are no longer tools. They are participants in the hunt. The Fast and Furious franchise has always been about speed, loyalty, and survival. But now, those ideas are being tested in ways never seen before. The crew is forced to think differently, move smarter, and trust deeper than ever. Every mission becomes a test not just of skill, but of unity. As the pressure rises, one thing becomes clear. The syndicate is not just building control. They are preparing for a final stage where every driver in the world will be part of a single system. A system where freedom is an illusion and choice no longer exists. And once it activates, there will be no turning back. The crew now stands at the edge of something massive. They are no longer just fighters on the road. They are the last resistance against a world that is slowly losing its freedom. And as the system tightens its grip, the only question left is simple but deadly. How do you outrun something that controls the road itself? The crew is back together, but this time it doesn't feel like the old days. Too much has changed, and too much has been left behind. Every member carries their own weight now, their own scars, and their own doubts. What once felt like a family built on trust now feels like a group standing at the edge of something uncertain. Still, one thing keeps them connected: loyalty. Dominic Toretto, played by Vin Diesel, stands at the center of it all. He is not just leading with strength anymore. He is leading with experience. Every decision he makes now carries more risk, because the enemy they are facing is not just powerful, it is intelligent. But even in this new world, Dom's belief in family does not break. For him, that word is not just emotional. It is a code that decides everything he does. As the crew gathers, we see familiar faces, but their energy is different. Some are more cautious now, thinking before acting. Others are restless, ready to jump into action without waiting. This difference creates tension inside the group. Not everyone agrees on how to fight this new threat. Some believe they should stay hidden and strike from the shadows. Others believe the only way forward is full speed and direct confrontation. The team that once moved as one now struggles to move as a whole. Then come the new members, drivers and tech experts from different parts of the world. These are not just racers. They are specialists who understand the systems controlling the modern roads. They bring new skills, new ideas, and new energy, but they also bring uncertainty. The old crew is not sure if they can trust them fully, and in a world where every system is being watched, trust becomes the most dangerous choice. Inside this mix, quiet conflicts begin to rise, not loud fights, but small moments of disagreement, hesitation, and doubt. A missed signal, a delayed response, a decision questioned at the wrong time. These small cracks slowly build pressure inside the team. And the enemy knows this. The system they are fighting is designed not just to stop cars, but to break unity. At the same time, personal stories begin to surface. Some members want to leave the fight and protect what little peace they have left. Others feel they have nothing to lose and are ready to risk everything. This emotional divide makes every mission harder, because now every action is not just about survival, it is about choice. But Dom keeps pulling them back together. He reminds them that this fight is not about machines or systems alone. It is about freedom, about not letting the world become a place where everything is controlled and nothing is lived. His voice becomes the center of stability, even when everything around them feels unstable. As preparations continue, the crew starts training in new ways. Old driving styles are no longer enough. They learn how to deal with AI-controlled vehicles, how to break tracking systems, and how to survive in roads that can change direction in seconds. Every training session feels like stepping into a new world where instinct must combine with strategy. Even with all this preparation, there is always a feeling that something is missing. A gap in their understanding of the enemy. A question no one can fully answer yet. Who is truly controlling the system? The syndicate is visible, but something deeper feels hidden behind it, a force that has not yet revealed itself completely. And as the crew stands together, ready but uncertain, one truth becomes clear. This is not the same family that once ruled the streets. It has evolved, stretched, and been tested by time. But whether it will stay together or break apart will depend on what comes next. Because in this new world, even family must fight to survive. The mission is no longer just a theory. It is real, and it is getting closer every second. What started as a hidden signal and scattered warnings has now become a full-scale global situation. The enemy is no longer waiting in the shadows. They are moving openly, tightening control across cities and highways. Every road now feels like part of a larger trap, and the crew knows they are being guided towards something they do not fully understand yet. At the center of this rising tension, Dominic Toretto, played by Vin Diesel, makes a decision that changes everything. Instead of waiting for the enemy to make the first full move, he decides to strike at the system itself. The goal is no longer survival alone, it is disruption. If the control network can be broken, even for a short time, it could give the world a chance to breathe again. The crew prepares for missions that are unlike anything they have faced before. These are not normal races or chases. These are precision operations inside heavily controlled zones. Every mission has layers of surveillance, automated defense systems, and AI-controlled patrol routes. One wrong move can alert the entire network. There is no room for error and no second chances once they enter. As they move deeper into the system, they begin to understand how advanced the enemy has become. The network is not just controlling cars, it is predicting human behavior. It studies patterns, decisions, emotions, and reactions. It learns from every encounter. This means the more they fight it, the smarter it becomes. Every attempt to break it only makes it stronger. That realization hits the crew hard. Still, they push forward. The first strike is planned in a heavily monitored city where traffic never stops and every movement is recorded. The mission is to insert a virus-like disruption into the system core through a moving target, a vehicle that must travel through multiple controlled zones without being stopped. It is a near impossible task, requiring perfect timing, trust, and coordination. The tension inside the team rises again. Some members question whether attacking the system is even possible. Others worry that they are walking directly into a trap designed to expose them completely. But Dom stays focused. For him, hesitation is more dangerous than action. If they stop now, the system will only grow stronger and more permanent. As the mission begins, the city itself feels alive. Traffic flows too perfectly, too smoothly, as if it is being guided by an invisible hand. Cameras track every angle. Signals shift instantly. Roads adjust in real time. It is clear that nothing in this environment is random anymore. The system is always watching, always reacting. The crew splits into coordinated roles. Some create distractions in different parts of the city, pulling attention away from the main target. Others work on hacking into smaller nodes of the system to create temporary blind spots. And at the center of it all is the high-speed run, the most dangerous part of the plan, where one vehicle must carry the disruption signal deep into the network. But as the mission unfolds, something unexpected happens. The system reacts faster than predicted. It does not just defend, it adapts. Routes change instantly. Traps activate earlier than expected. Even escape paths begin to close in real time. It is as if the system knew their plan before it even started. This moment changes the tone completely. The crew realizes they are not just attacking a system, they are being studied by it. Every move, every strategy, every backup plan is being analyzed and countered in real time. The enemy is not just reacting anymore, it is anticipating. Still, Dom refuses to stop. Even as pressure increases and the mission becomes more dangerous by the second, he pushes forward. Because now it is clear, this is not just a fight for control of the roads. It is a fight for the future of freedom itself. And in this moment, as the system tightens its grip, the crew prepares for what feels like the beginning of the final storm. As the mission reaches its breaking point, the true face of the enemy finally begins to show. What once looked like a hidden syndicate operating from the shadows is now revealed to be something far more advanced and far more personal. This is no longer just a group of powerful people. It is a fully connected global intelligence system built to control movement, predict rebellion, and eliminate resistance before it even forms. At the center of this rising storm, Dominic Toretto, played by Vin Diesel, realizes something that changes the direction of everything. The system they are fighting is not random. It has been built using data collected over years, data from races, missions, and every major move the crew has ever made. In a way, they helped create the very system now hunting them. This realization creates a heavy silence within the team. It means every past victory, every escape, every chase has been recorded, studied, and turned into patterns. The enemy did not just observe them, it learned from them. And now it is using everything it learned to build traps that feel impossible to escape. The final stage begins when the system activates a global lockdown protocol across major cities. Roads become fully controlled pathways. High-speed corridors are locked into preset routes. Escape routes start collapsing one by one. It feels like the entire world is slowly being folded into a single controlled map where every movement is pre-decided. The crew is forced into their most dangerous situation yet. They are no longer chasing targets or running missions. They are now inside the system itself. Every second is monitored. Every move triggers a response. Even communication becomes risky as the network begins intercepting and decoding their signals. Dom makes a final call to regroup for one last coordinated strike. This is not about small disruptions anymore. This is about collapsing the core of the entire network. The plan is bold, almost impossible. Hit multiple system points at once to overload the central control structure. If it works, the entire network could collapse for a short time. But if it fails, there will be no second chance. The team prepares knowing fully that this could be their last run together. The emotional weight is heavy, not fear alone, but understanding. They all know what is at stake now. This is not just about stopping an enemy. It is about stopping a future where freedom no longer exists. As they move into position, the world around them feels like it is tightening. Traffic becomes unnatural. Roads shift with precision. AI-controlled vehicles begin blocking key paths. It is as if the system itself is preparing for the final confrontation, ready to crush any attempt at rebellion before it can fully form. Then comes the moment of impact. The coordinated strike begins across multiple locations at once. Engines roar, systems clash, and digital defenses activate in real time. The city turns into a battlefield of speed versus control. Every second becomes a fight between human instinct and machine precision. But just as the strike reaches its peak, the system reveals its final countermeasure. A hidden layer activates, one that predicts not just movement, but intent. It begins responding before actions are fully made. The crew realizes they are now fighting something that is no longer just reacting. It is thinking ahead of them. In this critical moment, everything hangs in balance. The mission is no longer just about breaking a system, it is about surviving its final response. And as the pressure reaches its limit, the crew is pushed to the edge of what seems possible, entering a final phase where speed, trust, and sacrifice will decide everything. The final phase begins in complete silence before the storm. The system has fully awakened now, and there is no pretending it is just a hidden network anymore. It is everywhere, in the roads, in the traffic, in the vehicles, and even in the choices people think they are making. The world has become a controlled machine, and the crew is now inside its core. At this point, Dominic Toretto, played by Vin Diesel, understands something very clear. This is no longer a mission they can escape from. It has become a final stand. The system has already identified them as the biggest threat, and now it is focused on ending them completely. Every resource is being redirected. Every route is being sealed. There is nowhere left to hide. The crew gathers one last time, not as separate drivers, but as a single unit facing extinction or freedom. The emotional weight is heavy. There are no big speeches, no long arguments, just understanding in silence. They know what must be done, and more importantly, they know the cost of failure is not just their lives, but the future of every road in the world. The final plan is simple in idea, but almost impossible in execution. They will overload the central core of the system by forcing it to react to too many high-speed disruptions at once. Each member takes a critical position across different controlled zones. The goal is to create chaos so large that the system cannot calculate or respond fast enough. As the operation begins, the world feels like it is collapsing into motion. Roads shift unpredictably. AI-controlled vehicles begin hunting them directly. Entire highways turn into moving traps. It is no longer a chase. It is a survival run inside a living system that is actively trying to erase them. Dom leads the central strike point. His role is the most dangerous. He must stay inside the core tracking zone long enough to anchor the disruption signal. Every second he stays alive increases the chance of success, but also increases the system's focus on him. He becomes the center of everything, the target, the bait, and the key. Around him, the crew executes their roles with precision. Explosions of movement ripple across the city as multiple system nodes are hit at the same time. For a brief moment, the network begins to struggle. Traffic control becomes unstable. AI predictions start to overlap. The system begins to show cracks. But then, something unexpected happens. The system adapts again, faster than before. It shifts from control to correction. Instead of reacting to chaos, it starts containing it. Roads begin sealing themselves into isolated zones. Escape paths vanish instantly. The entire battlefield reshapes itself into a closed arena with no exit points. For the first time, the crew realizes the truth. The system is not just defending itself anymore. It is evolving in real time. Dom pushes forward anyway. Even as everything around him collapses into controlled destruction, he refuses to break focus. The signal must reach the core. The disruption must complete. There is no turning back now. Every second becomes heavier, every decision more critical. Then comes the moment that changes everything. The system identifies Dom as the primary trigger of resistance. Instead of trying to stop the whole crew, it isolates him completely. The roads around him lock down. His path narrows into a single controlled route, one final corridor where everything is focused on ending him. But Dom does not slow down. He understands what this means. If the system is focusing everything on him, it means the others have a chance. And that is enough. As he drives deeper into the final corridor, the world around him feels like it is closing in from all sides. The system prepares its final countermeasure, and in this moment, speed is no longer just survival. It becomes sacrifice, strategy, and defiance all at once. The final confrontation is now just ahead.